The White House meets with TikTok influencers to push the Ukraine propaganda. Man, y'all know that I don't like reporting on this Russian and Ukraine bullshit because we don't really know what the hell is going on, especially when it comes to our media and this BS commander and thief that's sitting in office and his Democratic cabal goons. So you know I don't like talking about it, but I have to talk about this headline right here. It amazes me, man, how disrespectful the Democrats are, man. The White House meets with 30 different TikTok influencers to brief them on Ukraine. I mean, people, if this doesn't tell you the tall tale sign of what we already know, that these people push propaganda, and we have individuals out here that will sell their soul for some notoriety and to be able to be on some Zoom conference call to talk about something they don't even have an idea with, so that they can push and then use their influence to push the narrative of more propaganda. We don't know what's going on in Ukraine. And the fact that the White House would do this is beyond me, man. But the reason why this is so cringe to me is the fact that these takes from these influencers that met with the White House, these 30 TikTok influencers that are now trying to speak the language of what the White House wants them to do, is beyond me, man. So I want to go into a couple of them, and then I'm gonna end it. I don't want to make this one long. Here's one, and I want you to notice how many times I have to stop the camera, read the take, read the script to make sure that they're saying the right thing that the White House wants them to say. I mean, you can't make this up, man.
So I just got off of a Zoom call with the White House about the situation in Ukraine. A number of other content creators in social media and myself were invited to this event, which was on background, meaning that we couldn't record or take pictures, but we can discuss what we learned from it. Now, there was definitely a lot discussed, but in this video, I'm going to go over the specific question that I got to ask, the answer to it, and my thoughts.
Man, check out how long this question is. We know this little young man did not think of this question. This is a probe question. It is so that they can speak the language of more propaganda to the American people, to the idiots that follow them.
On their response. And as a quick piece of context, a lot of the people there ask questions based off of the content they create and what they feel their audience might want to know. So that informs the question that I personally asked. So this was my question. Many people from marginalized communities in the United States have become dejected regarding the situation because there's an imbalance of coverage and assistance given to the Ukraine-Russia crisis compared to other occupations, invasions, and attacks throughout the world, some of which have U.S. involvement. What incentivizes these Americans to be in strong support of the U.S., giving high levels of attention and direct aid against the Russian invasion, as we feel there isn't enough attention on related issues in other places throughout the world and right here in the United States? First, I'll try to give a direct summary of what they said, which can be divided into 4 different points. According to them, one reason that this crisis is specifically notable is because of the size of the invasion, which is the largest since World War II. Second, they acknowledge that this coverage imbalance exists for crises throughout the world and encourage us as content creators to use our platforms to highlight different issues as they arise, especially when mainstream media fails to do so. Third, they said that just because something isn't getting mainstream coverage in media doesn't mean that the United States isn't giving aid, whether that be monetary, humanitarian, or military aid to other issues throughout the globe. And last, they said that they hope that this crisis at least raises the public consciousness around geopolitical issues throughout the world, and that even though Americans may not be proud of other things the United States has done globally, that they hope that we can look back on this moment and see how the United States rallied the West to stand up against Russia and be proud of that.
Congratulations, young man. You just were used for propaganda. And he's not the only one. There was 30 different ones that they use to push this propaganda, and all of them are all cringe. They have to keep pausing and stopping and reading and trying to make sure they got the point right on how the White House briefed them on making sure that they say it the way that they want them to say it in order for them to get the pay and the recognition that they are going to be able to leverage off of for the remaining of their career of being an influencer, of being a playing team with the Democratic cabal. And do you know that there are so many other content creators that have large audiences? Some of these people, they got 500,000. One of them had 1.3 million. Another one had 3 million. There's a lot of content creators on TikTok that they could have used and reached out to that are in conservative values, that are independent. But why didn't they get those people? Maybe because they didn't want them to hear the same stuff that these people were able to suckle on, and so that they can push out more propaganda. Check this guy out. It's the same cringe moments.
Hey folks, so I just had the pleasure of joining a White House briefing with a senior official from the National Security Council. And I want to talk to you about what America is doing to help Ukraine, because it's important to spread accurate information here. And let me just quickly say, as someone who has family in Ukraine, I am very grateful for what America has done thus far. So first off, the United States has provided a significant amount of militaristic as well as humanitarian aid to Ukraine. Hundreds of billions of dollars have already gone to Ukraine, and there will be more. Next, we are seeing the United States sanctions on Russia work. Russia's economy is in free fall, the ruble is at its lowest point in a very long time, and the country is on the brink of default. And finally, the United States is publishing a significant amount of previously classified information that was since declassified in order to debunk Russian misinformation and keep the public and Ukraine aware of what's happening. Remember, the United States didn't cause this war. Russia did.
All propaganda. It sounds like a little mini Joe Biden, man. It sounds like a little mini Joe Biden. Look, this is propaganda. You guys know that this is propaganda. I'll tell you why, and what's so interesting, and what confirms to me what we already know. This confirms to me that they use these celebrities, these talking heads of people that think that they are gatekeepers of communities across America, as if they speak for the American people, so that they can use their influence to continue to push a narrative of more propaganda of what they want the American people to think. I think this is a nonpartisan issue, the fact that the White House would use TikTok influencers to push the propaganda bullshit. This confirms to me they use the people like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, soft Dwayne Johnson. Remember that? When he pushed out and he put out, everybody was going in on him on his post on Instagram. He put out the narrative, man, I spoke with the Democrat administration, Biden's administration, and I love what they have in place, and I'm stamping them. I'm stamping their approval. They're good people. I had a great discussion with them. Well, The Rock, did you have a discussion with the Republican Party? You see what I'm saying, people? This is propaganda. And it also confirms to me they use idiots like Cardi B, the WAP queen, someone that has no clue about politics whatsoever. She can barely speak correctly. She makes rhetoric, suicidal poetry music on a good beat that degrades women and herself, while she doesn't even let her own daughter listen to it. She makes music she don't even want her own daughter to listen to. This is how I know the Democrats, the powers that be, they use people to be talking heads to push their narrative. But what I find extremely interesting, right? What I find extremely interesting, there was also another person that wanted to talk to the Biden administration, the Democrat administration, and they wouldn't even pay him any mind. They wouldn't even give him the time of day. You know who that was? I'll let you put it in the comments. It was Ice Cube. Ice Cube wanted to meet with the Biden administration, the Democrat administration, to see if they can put in a plan on how they can help minority communities across America. You remember that? While Trump was saying that he's going to push a $500 billion platinum plan that would have ejected economical wealth all across the United States when it came to minority communities. But the Biden administration, they didn't even want to sit down and talk with Ice Cube. But you see how quick Trump's administration did. The Republican Party sat down with them. They said, okay, we would love to use some of your ideas and things, and we can implement it into the $500 billion platinum plan. But nobody's talking about that. So they won't meet with Ice Cube, but they'll meet with some old punk Gen Zs, TikTok influencers to push a narrative. Do you see the level of disrespect? I'm not going to beat a dead horse. We know that this is more BS propaganda. It is so irritating and disrespectful, the level that these Democrats will go. And it's right there in your face. We know that this is a narrative that they want to push out. We don't know what's going on between Russia and Ukraine. I don't even care what's going on with them. All I care about is the American people and what's going on right here in our own backyard. We got open borders. Everybody's flooding in here by the day. All of a sudden, the Wuhan is gone, and it's all our economy's going to shit. Gas prices, everything's in inflation. Food's going up. Everything is locking up. Businesses have been affected by their Wuhan theater charade that they put on for 2 years. And all of a sudden now it's cured. It's gone. It's all Putin's fault. I don't want to hear this, man. Anyway, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Thank y'all for listening. Please subscribe. Make sure you comment. I answer all my comments. I know I come off angry, but I'm a really good guy, man. It's your boy, Craig Long 45. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, oi.